I'm back, and I know that it's been a while. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get into that in a second. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tamara, and I host this podcast, SHADEE NOMAD, on my YouTube channel, Lover of Shades, where beauty and travel collide, no filter. Welcome back, you guys, and if this is your first time ever joining me, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and please don't forget, before we even get started, to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and go ahead and share it with a friend. Thank you so much. I know that it's been a while, and I was due to post an episode last week, but I'm just going to keep it very, very plain and simple with y'all. I was very burnt out, and I'm going to tell you why I was burnt out, because I have a very excited announcement to tell you guys about. But yes, I have been working on something since the beginning of this year. I've been holding it near and dear to my heart, and I'm so excited. And although I have been working on this relentlessly since the top of this year, this has been almost 10 years in the making, and that is my business, Nomadic Girl Code. I'm so excited, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So you might be asking yourself, what is Nomadic Girl Code? And I just want to give you guys the backstory and introduce what it actually is, but let me lead you up to it correctly first. So Nomadic Girl Code is about my travels abroad. As you guys know, especially if you guys been following me for a while, I have traveled for 14 months. I took off, many years ago, and traveled for 14 months to where I moved abroad. I lived on 4 different continents, visited over 20 countries, and literally had the time of my life, and it transformed me. And I still hold a lot of those experiences near and dear to this day. Now, how did Nomadic Girl Code come about though? It's actually a very simple thing. It's been, like I said, almost 10 years in the making. I came back to the United States after traveling for 14 months, and literally was sitting up there thinking to myself like, oh, I would love to. I already have my blog, Lover of Shades, where I covered all things beauty, all things travel, and some lifestyle in between. But there was something that I wanted to do more. I had received so many questions over the years, especially when I came back from traveling and living abroad, on how did you do this? Did you have a lot of money? Did you have to save like, $20,000 or, up to 6 figures? Did you have a 6-figure job? Were you able to work remotely, which was not really that popular back then? And the answer was no to all those questions. And I realized that many people, especially women, were in the same boat that I was in before even traveling abroad, which was thinking you had to have all this money. You had to have all these elaborate plans. You had to have like a travel agent. You had to have all these other experts doing it. And don't get it wrong, you definitely need some knowledge and a little bit of expertise, but it's more so just being resourceful and being able to pull from that before starting your journey. But just like how you live here in America or the UK or wherever you're tuning in from, you could go ahead and live abroad. You of course have to make some adjustments, be willing to immerse yourself in other people's cultures and countries, but it could definitely be done. So back around, I want to say around 2018, God actually gave me this dream and gave me this idea. I said, I want to do more. Like I'm talking to so many women. I'm answering all these people questions and telling them how they could move abroad. But I wish that there was a way that I could reach a broader audience. And God actually put it on my heart and my spirit back in 2018 to launch what is now Nomadic Girl Code, but I was too scared. I was way too scared. I said, oh no, I'm not ready to put myself out there like this. I'm not sure, what I'm going to, how I'm going to do this. I just wasn't ready at that time. So as the years went on, I continued to travel. I continued to, go abroad, do long haul trips, some, more local trips, etc. But then the top of this year, God put it on my spirit again. Like, I really need you to teach others how to travel abroad. So I actually made sure to follow God's lead this time. So that is how Nomadic Girl Code came about. But let me give you guys a little bit more detail. So let's just go ahead and take it a little step back. As many of you know, especially if you've been following me, I am the woman that goes around saying I traveled and lived abroad with less than $6,000 in my savings account, and that is true. However, let's dial it back even a little bit more. How did we get here? You are talking to a woman who was born and raised in the Bay Area. I did not come from a family with money, and in fact, I came with having very limited beliefs. I didn't believe that I could travel the world. I didn't believe that I would ever be able to afford to travel the world. I didn't believe that a lot of the dreams that I wanted was actually achievable, because it just was so far-fetched for me, because I'm like, I did not grow up in a life of luxury, and especially not in a life of wealth, right? However, my desire to travel, especially because probably my parents are, military vets, but my desire to travel just kept gnawing at me and growing and growing and growing over the years. Although it still was so far-fetched for me, I still kept having these dreams of me, living or visiting Europe, living or visiting Asia, going on safaris in Africa, etc., being able to visit different monuments and the, 7 wonders of the world, things of that nature. So what ended up happening is, when I made that leap in 2016 by going to South Africa by myself, it opened me up to everything. But I realized as I went ahead and traveled abroad, and like I said, I lived on 4 different continents. I visited over 20 countries my time away. I realized just how easy and just how accessible this actually was. But when I came back, and as I spoke to people, even when I was traveling, I was meeting other Americans or other Westerners, and they were just although they were visiting whatever country that I was currently living in or visiting myself, they still couldn't fathom how in the world was I able to travel and live abroad for so long by myself and not having all this savings. And it came even more to the forefront for me when I came back home, because I realized just how many other people, especially women of color, felt the same thing, where these things were unattainable, although they always had the dreams of doing it themselves, right? But first, let me tell you what got me here. I, like many of you, very ambitious, very high achieving woman. I was working in a segment of corporate America. I was working in corporate healthcare, and I had been working there for a while, but I felt like I just hit a wall. I was burnt out. I was tired of the same old same. I kept seeing myself living in all these different countries, visiting all these different countries, just having a better and softer life for myself instead of living in New York City, pounding it out, pounding on the concrete day in, day out, just doing the grind, right? And it wasn't until, like I said, I went to South Africa and I just got to see just how accessible this world is, and just how much money I did not have to spend in order to achieve a soft life somewhere else. And that literally planted the seed, and it kept me up at night when I got back, because I just wanted more. It gave me the desire to want more. And as I again went ahead and traveled the world and I actually was doing it, it came to the point that there was so many times I would just be in awe, because I'm like, I cannot believe I actually did this, right? But what I didn't realize is that it was transforming my life. And what I mean by that is, although I'm back home in America now, anytime it gets too rough, I always have that, backup plan to where it's like, hey, I lived abroad, I could go ahead and do it again. But I realize that there's so many other people that don't feel like they have this option, and I just want to show you guys that you absolutely do. This was so transformational for me. I realized I did not have to kill myself in the corporate 9-to-5 structure. I did not have to sit here and kill myself trying to obtain all these things where the price just keep going up and up. The goalpost keeps getting moved back. It keeps getting pushed back. And it just seemed like things just weren't attainable. I'm like, I've experienced a lot of these things overseas with a fraction of the cost. So why not show other people how to do the same thing? Does this resonate with you? Let me know in the comments below. So what does it really mean by having a soft life abroad? Let's go ahead and talk about it. When we think of soft life, we're thinking about silk robes, spas all day, you're staying at all these resorts, etc. And that's all good for a vacation. But what happened if you can make that your everyday life? Because guess what? People are doing it every day. What happened if you could leave the burnout back at home? What happened if you could step into the life that you always manifested for yourself and you always dreamed of yourself having? What happened if you could make that a reality? What happened if you could wake up feeling like every day's a weekend day, a Saturday, a Sunday fun day? What happened if, although you might be doing a little bit of work to go ahead and earn your living, you're still able to make all these elaborate plans and you don't have to worry about not having enough vacation time or PTO or not having enough money, etc. You're literally just on team book that ish. You're literally booking it and going. What happened if you could live your life like that? What happened if you could establish yourself in a luxurious place, or even a place that just works for you, and you could go ahead and see the world as you see fit and not have to worry about your safety, not have to worry about the corporate 9-to-5 burnout, not having to worry about microaggressions, not have to worry about micromanagement, not have to worry about a westernized society telling you how you're supposed to live, and if you don't achieve those things exactly how they pinpointed it, you're a failure. What happened if I told you that this is more than possible? Because that is what I learned traveling abroad, and that's something that I want to teach you guys now. So the purpose of Nomadic Girl Code is not only me sharing with you the tools and the keys and how I cracked the code, but also showing you how anything that you want, you already have it. You already have the solution. You already have, babe, you're literally the code cracked. You really are. Like, all you have to do is just step into your alignment and step into your purpose. So sometimes we know we could do it, but we're scared. Sometimes we're not sure about taking a leap, especially when we're leaping off of a ledge and we don't know what's necessarily at the bottom, or if we're going to even hit the bottom. But I want to be that big sis, or that sister, that sisterhood, if you will, that gives you that gentle push while encouraging you and telling you that you could do it. Because when I tell you that this will change your life, the more you travel, whether you decide to travel extensively or even move abroad permanently, it could be done. It's going to be transformational. You will never forget this. And when you do it and you're realizing that you're doing it, you're going to feel so powerful, because guess what? It was always inside of you. It was always inside of you. Now let's go ahead and talk about limiting beliefs, because you might say, yeah, this sounds well and good, but ain't nobody's trying to do this. Let's go ahead and crack these myths, okay? The first thing, is it expensive? Do I need all this money? Although I told you several times in this video already, no, you absolutely don't. What you do need, however, is to understand how to deal with money, have a good relationship with money, and have a strategy. When you have those three things, there's really nothing that you can't do. The second question, and the second biggest myth that I always get told is it dangerous? Isn't it dangerous? Aren't you scared? Did you, like, how could you do this? Because mind y'all, I did this by myself. I traveled the world by myself. Aren't you scared? Isn't it so dangerous? Let me tell y'all something. Being from the United States of America, this is one of the most, if not the most violent country in the world. We have mass shootings like it's nothing. We're so desensitized from it that we'll hear about something, we might grieve for a day or two, and then the next crazy headline pops up, and then we forget all about it because we're just seeing and feeling trauma after trauma. If you could survive America, especially for my American girlies, if you could survive America, you could survive the rest of the world. Like, anything that could happen here in America could happen to you across the globe, and vice versa. So again, if you could survive America, you could definitely survive living abroad. Like, the common sense that you use here, you'll have to use it, of course, anywhere that you go. There might be a little bit of different nuances depending on what type of country you're in and understanding the rules, the laws there, etc. But again, if you could survive here, you could definitely survive over there. So I hope that debunks that myth, because literally y'all can do that. What am I going to do to make money? There's so many different ways that you can make money. A few, I'm gonna just tell you what I did to make money, but this is just one of many ways. I literally did not have a job when I went to go travel abroad, and I had to hurry up and figure out a hustle fast. I have a bachelor's degree, and I love teaching people, as you guys can see. So I decided to become a TEFL teacher. TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language, or ESL, English as a Second Language teacher. So I was able to do that hustle, not only online, but I also had the opportunity to work inside schools while I was living abroad as well. This is just one of the many different ways you can make money while living abroad, and there have been people that have done less and are still thriving, y'all. So I do not want you guys to be nervous or wondering what are you guys going to do and how you guys are going to support yourself. It could definitely be done. Again, it's just all about strategy. And the last biggest myth that I want to go ahead and debunk is, I get told all the time, oh, you must be so fearless. You must be so fearless. That is a lie. I do get nervous from time to time about certain things, and I also get fearful of certain things. But what I need you to understand, and it's something that I had to realize as I traveled abroad, is bravery and fearfulness are two different things. You could be brave and know something like, fear is just all about us not knowing what's on the other side, or like not knowing the unknown, right? So if you already know, like, you're a flawed human being and you don't know everything, but you're open to learning new things we learn new things all the time. We learn new things every day. Why not learn as you're moving abroad or traveling abroad as well? So that's one of the biggest things. Does it require fearlessness? Absolutely not. But you do need to be brave. And again, you need to have a strategy and also move with your common sense, and you will be completely fine, babes. So what's inside of Nomadic Girl Code? Well, let me go ahead and segue and plug in my free masterclass now, because you're going to have to tune in to find out, boo. So, but on a serious note, I will go into more detail on what to expect and what you could find in Nomadic Girl Code, but you'll have to do something for me first. I'm going to go ahead and put in the description box below the website for you to sign up. I have 2 free masterclasses that I'm hosting back to back next week. The first day is Wednesday, August 6th, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can't make that one, don't worry. I have another free masterclass. It's the same masterclass, y'all, literally the following day on Thursday, August 7th, and that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the Pacific Coast, it's going to be for Wednesday, it's going to be at 11 a.m. and for Thursday, it should be at 4 p.m. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my link in the description box below. Please go ahead and sign up. It's absolutely free. And when you sign up for the free masterclass training, I'm even going to gift you a checklist. Like, y'all literally can't beat this. I'm giving you guys resources before you even joined our free masterclass training. So just go ahead and sign up for that training, get your life, and go ahead and get that free checklist, y'all. Don't play with me. So that's it. I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. I just have to say, this has been on my spirit for a while. This has been on my heart for a while. I've been keeping it near and dear to my chest, but I am so excited to finally announce that I am launching Nomadic Girl Code. Again, it will be launched next week, immediately following the free masterclass training. But go ahead and please sign up, you guys. I'm going to be dropping so many gems during this free masterclass training. Again, it's on Wednesday, August 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Thursday, August 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys are already going to start getting free resources before even joining the free masterclass training. You literally can't go wrong. Just go ahead and drop by and come through, and then go ahead and let me know when you guys do come through that you saw this video on YouTube, so I know that you guys got my message, okay? And just understand, Nomadic Girl Code is more than a course. It's literally a transformation. It's the transformation to your soft life that you didn't even know or didn't even realize you needed. It's literally helping you manifest and taking that leap and getting started to live the dream life that you know you deserve. Like, not even just dreamed of, you actually deserve. So with that being said, I hope to see you next week. Go ahead and drop any comments or any questions that you may have in the comment section below. With that being said, I hope to see you next week. In the meantime, if you have any questions or any comments, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. Again, one more time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with your friends, especially share the word about the free masterclass training. I would greatly appreciate that. And then of course, if you have any questions, any comments, I'll be sure to respond to you. And while you're at it, don't forget to follow me on social media. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, where I'm the most active on, as well as Facebook, and of course YouTube at the username Lover of Shades. All across the board, no matter what platform, you can find me at Lover of Shades. And until next time, you guys, I should be posting another episode in about another couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. And I hope to see you guys next week, and I'll speak to you guys soon.